Hello, America. You are tuned into the Odds Brothers Podcast, episode 62 on Friday, March 31st. That is the final day of March for everybody not paying attention to a calendar. Plenty of stuff on today's episode. Got some, NBA, we got some XFL, we got some women's Final Four, we got some men's Final Four. All in all, one heck of a show if you want to stick around and listen, which we highly recommend. Kevo? You know what time it is. Hit that beautiful bean footage.
Welcome to the Odds Brothers Podcast. Follow the Odds Brothers Podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google, and YouTube. Now here are the hosts of the show, Moneyline Mark.
I'm not a smart man.
And Point Spread Shane.
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
What the world was that noise?
I don't know. What's up?
There we are.
There's Mark. Looking like he's about, 11 o'clock in the morning, and I look like I'm in the evening, yet we're right next to each other.
Lead dishwasher for GameWise, father of 3 retired Greyhounds.
There you go. I'm over Rue, and you're unofficially under Rue. Moneyline Mark. We'll see how that
I'm going to
works.
start wearing sunglasses in here since I got to be on the bright side.
That's right. I think it has something to do with your pasty bald head.
It doesn't. Well, I can switch sides, and I look like I was just coming back from Miami.
I see some Facebook ads, tailored. That might help you with that problem.
Well, I don't need the pill.
If we could put a poll up, we'll figure out what America thinks about that. But unfortunately, that function is not available.
All 10 people won't know if I need the pill or not.
But maybe one of the 10 would.
Doubt it.
No?
No.
She don't watch the podcast?
Yeah, with me.
Oh, well, she can vote. All right, everybody.
I'll sway her vote. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like and subscribe to the Odds Brothers Podcast when you get a chance.
I was going to say, where are we going with this episode today?
I don't know. Definitely wasn't thought of there.
I'm just waiting for the tornadic activity to come blowing through the doors over there.
Yeah, we got some weather in the old Memphis metro area. Hopefully we can beat it and get it out in the podcast before anything happens here. And, hopefully pray to God for those that are going to get hit, because it's going to be a bad weather day in the Mid-South. And it was last week in parts of Mississippi. So it's just that time of year when you get to springtime that this kind of stuff happens from time to time.
Are you and I going to go storm chasing after this?
In your car? Truck?
No, truck, yeah.
All right. You don't mind.
I don't. It's insured.
Oh, good deal, because you're going to need it.
What were you doing out there in that farmer field? I got off the road, Paul.
Four-wheel drive. Hail damage. We're going straight into it.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to some picks. I'm sure people don't give two craps less about the weather here.
Uh-oh. Well, let's see what kind of wacky stuff we got going on today. Let me slide over. Let me get myself centered.
We got some recapping to do, though.
What's this?
Seattle Sea Dragons did not cover the 9.5. I took Orlando plus 9.5 in the under, so I got half of the equation right. I did get the game right, but it did go under Rue for Mark. So you got a credit for the under, but the game, I took the 9.5 and covered with the old Guardians.
Yeah, I do. I think I do remember picking the Sea Dragons.
I think you did.
I just don't know if you did.
I didn't. I picked Orlando plus the points.
That's why I threw the flag.
Well, if you were one of the 9 or 15 people that watched last week's episode, you would know this already.
I did.
And it was, indeed, after pausing for the review.
Let me pull it up.
All stands. Shane picked Orlando.
It says we didn't even pick this game.
Yeah,
that's what it.
Look underneath.
That's what it said on the last episode.
Go ahead, Kevo. The Dookie-Gades, Arlington. We both picked Arlington and under. Well, we did get the under right, 15-9. But somehow the Brahmas pulled out a win.
I didn't pick the Brahmas. Are you sure about that?
You didn't pick the Brahmas.
Oh, man, I've been Brahmas the whole way.
Yep. That was the one we actually had both. We were both the same one on, which is rare. So we get the Dookie emoji next to Arlington. Welcome to the Dookie emoji. Here's something that I'm finally happy that you came to the site on. One being, thank you, St. Louis. The Battlehawks, 29-6 drubbing of Vegas. I thought Vegas was going to score more than 6 because they're one of the higher teams in the XFL in scoring, and it turns out they can only muster 6 points. So I went the over-roo and got burned. Mark took the under-roo and hit both sides of the equation. They were only giving up 3, so that'll let you know how even the odds makers thought this game was going to be a bit closer. But alas, not so fast, my friend. DC, at least one team in the Washington, D.C. area is winning, and I finally went over to that side with Mark in a high-scoring game, 37-26, so they easily covered that 2 in the hook. My Overrule went sailing over.
Yes.
Your Underrule almost got hit alone by the D.C. Defenders, so big game there. But we both picked the D.C. Defenders, giving up that under the field goal. So the XFL leaderboard through Week 6 of that season, I hit 5 on the overs. Mark only picked the over once, probably the entire time, and hit it. Unders, he's Mr. Underroo. He's up 5-3 on those picking unders. And the covers were both tied at 4. So as far as correct selections on both sides of the over-under and the cover, I've got a slight lead on Mark of 12-10 so far in this XFL season.
I'm still looking for the XFL from last week's.
Are you?
Oh, yeah. I'm calling bulls on the Brahmas.
This one's tonight at 6 o'clock. That's an XFL Friday Night E-Special against between the Sea Dragons and the Arlington Dukies.
Yeah, I was going to say, they scored 9 points?
They scored, not much, against the Brahmas. And over-under in this one, 37.5. The Seattle Sea Dragons are favored by 4.5. Marcellus, 4.5. That's a little more than I would like to give, but it is the Arlington Renegades.
I don't see. They only scored 9. I'm going to go with Seattle Sea Dragons.
And I know it's going to be under Route City, even at 37.5, right?
You got that right, my friend.
Yeah, it's hard to see if Arlington can only score that much against the Brahmas, how much they could actually score against the LC Dragons. Although the defense of the Sea Dragons isn't nearly as impressive. So let me go ahead. I'm going to lay the 4.5. I think the Sea Dragons can cover that. And I'm going to take one more shot at the Overroo in my world, thinking that Arlington has to score more than 9 this time. 37.5 is pretty attainable. I mean, if you get 24-13, I got the right in the neighborhood.
Are those pink? Is that a pink color?
It looks like a pink color.
Oh, all right. Is that the Dragon's color or something? What color is that?
I don't know. Maybe it's just Kevin's favorite color this week.
Could be.
The Brahmas against the Vipers. Dookie versus Dookier. Vegas is favored, though, at home by a field goal here. The over-under 39.5. Marcellus, I went with the Vipers last time to score some points. I think they'll do it this time against the Brahmas. So I'll lay the 3, but I'm going to go Underroo on this one. So give me the Vipers at home with an Underroo of that 39.5.
Well, let's try the Brahmas again. And I'm sure my face will probably be on the Vipers the next episode. And go under.
Underroo. Captain Underroo again.
Yes. I'm still looking, by the way.
Keep looking.
I can't find it. It doesn't even say we did it.
It's amazing. Next one. DC Defenders. They are undefeated against the unwinnable 6 and over, so and 6.
9.5 points, huh?
9.5. They are on the road, but still 9.5. The over-under is 45.5, so they expect some scoring there. I just don't see it. This looks like an easy Underroo to me. DC Defenders has a good enough defense against the Guardians, I would especially expect. And as far as laying 9.5, man, that's quite a bit. Any NFL game gives me pause, but in this situation, I think the Defenders will cover this. I think they win by 13 or more. But I'm only going to give the 9.5. I'm not going to get that giddy, but I think DC and the Underroo.
That's what the problem is. See, you said NFL game. This is an NFL.
I know. DC and the Underroo.
That's great. That's the same thing I'm doing. DC and the Underroo, because if the Guardians haven't won yet, ain't going to be able to do it.
Not going to be able to do it. Was there one more? Yeah, Sunday at 1. Ooh. My Battlehawks. It's hard to believe they lost a couple of games. They're against the Houston Roughnecks. In theory, should be a good game. 4-2 on each side. Over under 44.5. Houston is favored by a field goal here, Mark. Basically, home field advantage. How you feeling?
I'm going Houston. Home field advantage. By a touchdown.
Wow.
But we're only playing the 3-point game, so somehow it's only 3. Should be 3.5.
I got to go my Battlehawks here.
Take them.
I'm going to take the 3 points.
Oh, and I'm going under.
This game's probably going to get some points scored in it. I'm going to go slight Overroo. You got the under. I'm going to go Overrule on this one.
All right.
I think this game's in the high 40s. I think this is like a 26-20 final, something like that.
Why?
Of course, Battlehawks. I won't take a money line. I would. I mean, the odds probably would make it as such, but I'm going to go ahead and grab that 3 points as insurance.
What are you watching on Sunday? Are you watching the Battlehawks, or are you going to be watching the women's finals?
Depends if the Iowa Hawkeye women are in it. I'll definitely be watching the women's final. And if they're not in it, I'm probably not watching that either way. I'll just see the score. And now that's the last game, it's interesting. I watched 2 full games and a part of a 3rd game so far of the XFL. And to me, it's not so much an issue of the product necessarily being so bad, like, man, this just looks like I'm watching a high school game. It's not like they're running 40 out of 50 plays and just no excitement. There is some stuff there. It just does not seem natural to be watching football in April. So I'm just not tuned into it,
What are you going to do with the USFL?
Same thing. I might watch a couple of games. Now, let me say this. It'll be interesting with Memphis having a team, and it's so close, and the weather's nice, and the tickets are so cheap. I may go over there and actually just watch one game.
Yeah, I'll give you $1 if you streak the field.
It's going to take more than $1, Tiger.
Wrap yourself up in the Bentley logo.
That's going to take way more than $1, Tiger.
What about an Odds Brother logo? $2?
I'll give a discount if it's the Odds Brothers. As long as I'm wearing the Underoos Moneyline Mark Tidy Whities.
Yeah, right. Big old stain down the backside. Mm-hmm.
Kevin said, we better get on to some more recap.
He's heard enough.
Before we're canceled. NBA recap from this past Monday. We had the L.A. Clippers against the Chicago Bulls. We thought this back-to-back was going to be a little tough, so you see both our heads there. We both took the Clippers in the over at 219. It sailed over pretty easily there at a 236 clip. So
Keyword there, I took the over.
You did, which is very unique. And that pick was free, America.
That's right.
Next pick, Sacramento.
This pick was free, too.
I really thought, and the under came through at least. That was a 234, so we did get the under portion of it. But
Underoos.
Sacramento had a chance to clinch a playoff spot at home. Thought they were going to score a lot more points than Minnesota could muster, and it just didn't turn out to be. So, yeah, as Mark indicated, that pick was free as well. But at least we got the under for you on that one if you followed any bit of it. Portland, they just decided. They have shut down Damian Lillard the rest of the year, so they pretty much said, screw it, we're not playing the last 7 games or so of the season. New Orleans took advantage of that, won by 9.5. So, and the over, not quite, because Portland didn't score enough. So we were a little short on that, too. Both sides were the Duke.
I picked the over that many times. I'm getting ready to flow that red flag again.
I do remember asking you feeling okay? You picked multiple overs that game. All right, what do you got there,
2
Kevo?
tops.
Oh, my God. Well, we picked the under. We did hit that. That was 220 to a 233.5. But if you're looking at the thing, Utah at home, I thought was going to be tougher than that. Phoenix, 6.5, ended up winning pretty comfortably by 14. So, Phoenix decided to play that night. Utah decided not to. But any team getting that many points at home, for the most part, not any team. If you're the Rockets, I still kind of pause. If you're the Spurs, I still kind of pause. But outside of that, I thought.
And that's 2 games we picked the same thing on, too. All right, let's go on to the next one.
Credit.
We picked 3 games the same?
We did.
I think someone's messing with us.
I picked the Pacers getting points at home because Dallas had just come off 2 losses straight to Charlotte, of all teams. But somehow they go ahead and dump truck Indiana at home. So picked the Pacers getting those points at home, and it just didn't turn out. The under at, 231 was under. So the Underoos streak continues at least.
Oh, yeah.
New York
Hey.
Knicks. There you go. Mark had the Knicks and the under, which did not happen.
Look at that point spread.
I had Houston in the under, which definitely did not happen.
You were afraid of that point spread.
12.5, I was. I thought Houston could stay within 12.5. And it was still 10 points short.
All right. I like that.
You like that. And, of course, Philadelphia decided, you know what, hold my beer if you thought the Dallas score was interesting. And Denver, minus 5.5.
Oh, my gosh. I got the hook got me.
The hook got you. Thank God I got the points. I just thought Philly was going to win outright, though. So I got saved by half. I went the under at 227, so I got both sides of the equation. You
Yeah, the
got
Underoos.
half of it. The Underoos strike again. And then, of course, Milwaukee and Detroit, 16.5. I remember I was supposed to talk, that was a lot of points.
That was a lot of points, yep.
So
I do
thank
remember
God.
that.
Now, the under, well, that didn't quite happen.
No.
That was a 243 figure, so we were a little off on that one, but at least we got your spread right on that one. America. So for the NBA,
Lord.
My goodness, the Nebraska hat and
Yeah.
whatever that is, Beetlejuice.
It looks like a prison outfit.
The tubby
You let
version.
your hair grow out in prison.
We both pick 4 unders. Mark's Underoo streak of 15 goes in there, and the cover's 9-7 there. So out of 30 games, Mark has an 8-point advantage on me through the latest NBA leaderboards. They have about a week left in their season before we get to the playoffs. So
Underoos. What are we doing for the playoffs?
we're going to be picking those series and the games by games as they come along. That's for sure. All right, what else we got on the agenda here just before we get to these picks?
Oh, man, you're licking
The
that graphic.
women's Final Four.
Lick it. Lick that graphic.
It looks like a,
Lick it.
what do they call that? A sherbet flavored?
Yep, there you go.
Yummy. The women's Final Four tonight. Couple of good games. The women's Final Four has been pretty entertaining this year. I've watched a lot more of it than I have in the past. Yeah, a lot of it's because Iowa is still in it.
Okay.
And then that game will be the late game tonight. This one's supposed to tip off at 6 o'clock. LSU was a 3 seed, is a slight 1.5 favorite over the 1 seed Virginia Tech. 133.5 is the over/under here, Mark. Let me see, because I should be able to pull this up. It'll be
It's
interesting.
women's basketball. I haven't watched any of this.
Nothing at all, huh?
No, there's other games going on. Baseball's going on right now. Basketball's going on right now. The NCAA men's is going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's sleep, watch paint dry. I can keep going on about what I'd rather watch than this.
Wow. Well, I'll be tuning in a little bit here, provided I still have power at the house. But LSU, I think the center that they have is going to be all the trouble that Virginia Tech wants and more here. I do like LSU to advance in this one. I think they do have the style of play that Virginia Tech's going to have a tough time with. And the point spread is such that I do believe LSU is going to win this. I do like the over here.
That's great.
I think it's going to be in the 70s.
He said over.
I'm going over Rue
All right.
and LSU.
All right. I'm going to go Virginia Tech because they're ranked number 1. And I'm going to go under because I'm the underoo.
You can only get this kind of crack,
That's great analysis.
crackhead analysis right here on the Odds Brothers podcast.
What's the next barn burner?
Iowa.
Oh, boy.
Iowa 2 seed.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that 10.5?
I took them. I hardly ever bet Iowa, but I got them at 11.5, so I got an extra point on my bet. It's 10.5 currently, so you can tell how some actions come in on Iowa with that kind of a spread. Now, here's what you got going on. Iowa has the best pure shooting talent in women's basketball in Caitlin Clark. South Carolina has the best 1 through 5 starting 5, I think, in the game. Iowa's starting 5 has been together with each other for 90 games plus, a very long stretch, so they're very familiar with each other. South Carolina, not so much. So you've got, can a top talent and a bunch of folks that they know how to play together take out an overall better team in South Carolina? Can you have that happen? You got to shoot the ball well. That's what it comes down to. Because defensively, South Carolina is probably going to be a little tougher than Iowa will be on the other side on the defensive end. So to me, I like Iowa in the points. Can Iowa win this outright? I feel like they can, but they got to shoot the lights out. And if they do that, then it prevents South Carolina from getting on fast breaks and using the athletic ability to beat Iowa down the court for easy layups and fast break buckets. So that's where it comes down to it. Official pick is Iowa. I'm going to take the points. Over-under of 149.5 insinuates this is like a 90 to 80 game, or not 90, 80 to 70 game, which I think is very doable. But I think that point spread's right on. I think that's almost exactly where this game's going to go. So for the sake of argument, thinking that the jitters will be a little much to start and the scoring may be slow to materialize to start, I'm going to go under Rue and Iowa plus 10.5.
I think South Carolina will win, but not cover. So I'm taking Iowa to cover. It's the other side there. Lord have mercy. And I'll take the Underoos because I'm Underoos.
You're Underoos. So you're going to take South Carolina?
No, it's not what I said.
What did you say, Kevo?
I said South Carolina will win, but not cover.
Oh.
And then you started standing up and playing with your boobs. I don't know what you were doing.
They were itching. All right. Men's side,
Oh,
which we
now
do
we're
have some
getting
stats for.
Now we're getting into some action. Finally. Finally.
You won't recognize a lot of these names if you're just a casual basketball fan, men's basketball for tournament, because there's no Duke, no Kansas,
Duke.
no Kentucky, no North Carolina.
You said Duke.
I said Duke. Florida Atlantic, FAU, a 9 seed coming in, and number 5 seed San Diego State. They got San Diego State at a 2.5-point favorite. The over-under here, 132.5. Current market says
Surveys it.
that they like the over in this game. I'm trying to get the actual, there we go, the actual figures for you, because I think it'll be interesting. I don't think it's got to be, well.
It's a gong show.
Yeah, so the overall prediction on this is San Diego State wins, but not cover, and the total will go over.
No,
that's where
I
the
almost
money
agree
is.
with them.
I almost agree with them, too. I think Florida Atlantic will win this game. I think the lack of defense or offense for San Diego will finally come to play here. And I do like, in this game, actually, I like the under.
Oh, man.
So give me Florida Atlantic plus 2.5, although I think they went outright tonight. And the over-under of 132.5, I go under.
You're spinning my record, baby.
Wow. Well, I knew with the Underoos I would for sure.
You're right. The Underoos, of course, and I'm taking Florida Atlantic. I agree. I think they win.
Yeah, you look, I'm just looking at the average points per game. It says 78 to 71, but that's the entire season, not just this tournament. Any other trends here? Florida Atlantic 4-1 against the spread the last 5 games. So no injuries to report of notice. So it should be full speed here.
All right.
Next game on the Final Four docket. This will be Saturday as well. Miami and UConn. UConn's 5.5-point favorites here. The over-under a bolstery 149.5. So that's a pretty good one for a college basketball game, Mark. How you feeling about UConn and Miami?
I'm sticking with the Florida. I'm going to go with Miami to win. And, of course, Underoos.
Underoos, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, the trend here is to go under, and a lot of folks do like Miami plus 5.5 in this scenario. I am going to go with Miami plus the points, although I think UConn does win this game late, but not by 5.5, obviously. And both of these teams can score a bunch of points quick.
Yeah, do it.
75 to 75.
Do it.
Give me the over. I'm going to go contrarian on this, thinking that neither team will really care about clamping down. They're just going to run up and down the court.
Mary.
So, yeah, UConn and the over. Or, I'm sorry, Miami plus 5.5. UConn wins the game, though. I'm going to do a mark on you. So I'm going to confuse you, and then when we come back and do Monday's show, I'll be like,
So
I could have swear I didn't say that.
I can't even find the XFL on our last show.
It is. Trust us all.
I'm going to go
I
back.
remember picking them.
Yeah, probably the show before.
'Cause I remember
It's
I picked
probably
them Arlington.
You're probably the first time they played. Episode
That's
50.
it for NCAA Men's Basketball Final Four. Now, real quick before we go.
Here we go.
Well, no, we got some picks tonight.
Oh, I was going to say.
Before we go forward. Let's put it that way.
All right.
We're going to have time because on our Monday show, there'll be a final game that we'll be able to pick against the spread. Women's, if it happens to be Iowa versus Virginia Tech, who do you got? Just flat out
Virginia Tech.
Iowa versus number 3 seed. What was it, Kevo?
Number,
I should
here,
know this.
I'll help you. Number 3
LSU.
seed.
Sorry, LSU. I knew I had it in my mind. Iowa versus LSU. Who do you got?
They're in it?
Yeah.
LSU.
You're just an Iowa hater. All right. And then South Carolina, if they play either one, you're just taking South Carolina all the way?
No. What do you
All
mean
right.
if they play either one?
Or if South Carolina faces LSU, who do you have?
South Carolina.
Okay, and South Carolina faces Virginia Tech. Who do you have?
Virginia Tech.
Woo! All right.
And there's no way I'm remembering all this. So
see, because I got the winner
now.
I got the winner. I got the winner of the Iowa South Carolina game winning it all. So whoever advances wins it all. You heard it here first.
All right.
All
Sounds
right,
like we got the whole wheel covered.
Like and subscribe our show, ladies and gentlemen. You are on the Odds Brothers podcast, coming to you from the Southland Casino and Hotel in stormy West Memphis, Arkansas. Come by. You see the lights usually on Mondays and Fridays. We record the show. We'll have some news for you shortly on hopefully some changes to our format, and hopefully we'll go live one day. That's what we're working to, a live show. How about that?
Great.
Like live on YouTube show, not that we're not doing it live right now.
Yeah, because I'm recorded.
Yes. Right now, I think that's due to a court decree. But anyway, San Antonio Spurs. They're at the Golden State Warriors tonight. We're in crunch time of the NBA playoff preview, if you will. Still a lot of things to be decided in the bottom half of the Western Conference, especially here. Golden State, I think last I looked, was a 6 seed. I'll have to look real quick. But they're 17.5-point favorites at home. 17.5 against the San Antonio Spurs, Mark.
How bad are the Spurs?
They're bad.
Well, how come
But
the
are they
records?
17
I like
and a
the
half?
other side. I like the other stuff you did, Kevin. I like the stat looking at it. I like that better than this.
So you want me to give it to you?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like-
yeah.
What the
it to
records
me.
are and stuff?
Yeah, just give me the records of the Spurs. What from when they're playing when they're away.
Oh, when they're away. All right, hang on a second. That's a different thing. I thought you wanted just
No, I
their
want to know when
record
they're away.
overall. All right, here you go.
You can't give it to me one way, Paul, and then change it up on me the next time.
All right, let's get you here. Boy, how many?
Yeah.
This
Well, I'm
Kevin
trying
went
to-
from the what goes latest first, and we're working our way backwards here. All right, current trends. 55% of the money's on San Antonio plus that huge spread, and it is trending under that 241.5. If you're looking at records away, Spurs are 19-57 overall. My goodness. Against the spread on the road, they're 4-6 though. On the road, they're 6-31. San Antonio is. By contrast, 31-8 at home for Golden State. If you're doing as favorites at home, they're 33-20.
All right. Who you going with?
That's a lot of points. So I'm going to take those with the Spurs. I mean, the Spurs suck, but they don't suck. I don't think 18 points bad.
All right.
And I'm going to go under because the Spurs probably can't score in that kind of bunches, so they're going to slow it down. Under Rue, and give me the Spurs and the points.
Awesome. Not me. I'm going Golden State Warriors. Yeah, that's right. I think they beat them by that many points at least. And what's that say? 93% of America believes in that. I'm going to go. I'm going to go under as well.
What did they say? Yeah. All right. Under Ruse, and he's taking the Golden State. Now, Golden State, if they gave 25.
I don't know. I don't have to worry about that. I have to worry about 17.5.
All right. Next one, Kevin. Oh, damn it.
Yeah,
Denver
that's
Nuggets
right.
and the Suns. This doesn't really affect the Nuggets much, per se, because they're not locked into one seed, but they look pretty good so far. And the Suns, though, need to watch out because they still can be moving up and down in the seeding quite a bit. Phoenix at home is a 9.5-point favorite here. Over under 227.5. Let me see what America says on that. Because
Denver not favored?
I know. I want to see if they're sitting somebody because they're getting to the point where they're pretty much locked into what they can do here.
Well, they got a lot-
America right now, 63% of the money is taking Denver in the points, and they think this will trend over that 227.5 as well. I'm just going to look real quick and see if there's any late news on, like, Nikola Jokic being held out for some reason. But
I see a lot of doubtfuls, but I don't see anything being held out.
so Denver right now, he's questionable. So not out. Jamal Murray is doubtful. Let's see who else might be out. So really, Nikola Jokic is the only one their center is questionable. Maybe that's where they're basing a lot of this point spread on, is the questionable tag. I would say if I see something like that, somebody believes he's not gonna play at all. There's no injury issues with the Phoenix Suns at all. So that's a big player. If he does not play, this changes the game quite a bit. But I'm going to go with the Nuggets still being able to hold within 10 of the Suns. So give me the Nuggets plus the points, and they both like to get up and down the court, so I think that 227's in danger. Give me the over-roo here.
I'm going to go right along with you. I'm going Denver.
And the over-roo?
And the over.
Ooh, my Lord. Over-roo.
Yeah, I had to look for yours. You got moved up to the top corner there.
I did,
I see it now, Paul.
He doesn't want to mess up the ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Ice cream.
The Kings, congratulations! They ended the longest playoff drought in American sports there with their win the other night. So they're definitely in the playoffs now. 13.5-point favorites on the road at the Portland Trail Blazers, who shut everything down. No Damian Lillard. They're basically looking to get a lottery pick here. Let's see what America says, even though that's going.
Yeah, while you look up America, I'm going to go ahead and take the Sacramento Kings because I don't care what America's betting.
Let's put it this way. It's based on a 14-point spread here, and 72% of the money is still on Sacramento.
That's right.
And they're going over.
That's a pity. I'm going under.
You're going under.
Underoos. That's right. And Kings, in case you forgot.
Give me Portland with the points and over.
There you go.
Portland and over-roo.
One of us is winning.
It is. I just don't like giving out that many points in an NBA game.
Well, that's
3-point shot just...
Want to go back to earlier in the episode?
No.
Okay.
Continue on, sir. Lakers, Timberwolves. Yeah. This will be big. Both of them are in the anywhere from barely in the playoffs to the play-in status. A couple of losses could get you out. So Lakers are a 1.5 favorite on the road at the Timberwolves. Timberwolves had the game in Phoenix for quite a while the other night and choked that away at the end. And they're almost desperate for a win here. America's loving the Lakers giving up even as much as 2.5. It's still 50% or 6% of the money here, and they like the over in this game at 232.5. I like to play desperate teams at desperate times, so I'm going to go Minnesota at home, getting the 1.5. Not that I think that matters much. I would take a money line if I could get a little better juice on it, and then 232. Man, I will go over, but barely. Timberwolves in the over-roo.
All right, I'm going to go Timberwolves in the under.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a LeBron fan, so sorry.
So is that a bet with a heart, like a hateful heart, or is that more of a head play there? When you say you hate
Nebraska
LeBron,
heart.
I mean, it's a Nebraska heart. Shades of gray, huh? And decay, and I got you. All right, Kevo. The Clippers and the Grizzlies. Clippers went ahead and beat the Grizzlies last time. They took a day off. Now they rematch tonight. 5.5-point favorites at home again, the Grizzlies. And over under 236.5. So last game, just to give you an idea, was a 140 to 132 or in that range. So they did a 270 spot last time these two teams got together, Mark. Current thinking on this game, America is...
Man, Grizzlies haven't beat them. What the heck?
Where is the Memphis game? Is this a late game, Kevin? Let me look. I thought that game... it is a later game, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central. So Memphis, 69% of the money says go ahead and take the Grizzlies and those points, and they're trending under the 236 this time. Let me make sure everybody's playing they're supposed to now. Keep in mind, Paul George is out indefinitely. Kawhi was held out of the last one, but Russell Westbrook went off. Let's see if this is still the case here. Injuries. Paul George is still out. Marcus Morris has been downgraded to out for the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard is expected to play. So you lose one and gain one here. 141-132 was the last score, Mark.
Yeah,
just 2 days ago when they played.
Yeah, no. And then when they played on the 5th, the Clippers beat them then.
So you go on the site now. When you do that, do you go on the site here that there's not that big of a disparity in talent that the Grizzlies at some point got to win one of these games? Like, they're good enough that they should win one, not keep getting beat by the Clippers? Or do you...
Well, how'd they lose the other day?
Westbrook went off, and Ja Morant was horrible shooting. He had one of his worst shooting days.
What day was he out with his thigh problem? Was that yesterday?
No,
Not yesterday.
No, that was way back. That wasn't the last time they played. You're talking Morant, right?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't out last game.
Huh.
Let me double check and make sure he's playing here, but I'm assuming with Memphis being favored, he probably is.
Yeah, he scored 36 points last time they played.
Steven Adams is their big center out for the season. I did not realize that. I knew he was out. Jaren Jackson's still good. Yeah, he's not even listed on the injury report.
Well, go ahead and give me the Clippers. I think Grizzlies win, but not by 5.5.
That's where my head was.
And I'm going to go under just because, well,
you're the Underoo man.
Underoo.
I do think the defense notches up here. I think Memphis was a little embarrassed last time. Kind of got exposed. I think they'll come out tonight with a little more like, we need to get one. We need to get a win against these guys. So I think they win but don't cover. And I go Underoo with you. Underoo!
Yeah.
Next game on the agenda, we had like 13 games in the NBA today. Pistons and the Rockets. Oh, the Super Dookie Bowl Imaginaire Special. Yeah, let's take a look at this bucket of ribba.
We got to pick this game?
I guess. 64% of the money says they'll lay that 6.5 and take Houston over under of a 227.5. They like the over. America does. I'm going to go ahead and take me some Detroit Pistons with that 6.5. Give me those points. And the over under 220, they don't really score. Give me under.
All right. I'm going to go Houston Rockets.
Are you trying to suck up to OC? Go ahead and hit that.
No, the
Not
Duke
gonna
of
be able to do it.
The Duke of the
Not
Duke.
gonna be able to do it.
The Duke of the Duke. If there should have been a Duke emoji on this one, right where that ampersand's at.
It is.
The Duke. And I'm going under because I don't know if either one of these teams can figure it out.
Under, you're taking the Rockets. I'll take the Pistons and the points. All right. Next one up on the agenda here. Knicks and the Cavaliers. This ought to be a really good game. Could be a preview in a playoff matchup down the road here. Cleveland at home is 3.5. To the good here, 221.5 is the over-under. America says here that they love Cleveland giving that. 83% of the money takes the home team, and they think this sails over 221, Mark.
I think this is going to be a pretty good game. The Knicks did it for me last time, so let's go with the Knicks again. And 221.
That's a pretty low total, but
What was the score the last time these guys played? Let me look real quick.
let's see if
I'm going under.
And you're going. Well, of course, you're going under.
Going under. That's some low scores the last couple of games they played. You have to go all the way back to October to get to that over.
The last 10 head-to-head games against these teams are both split. They both won 5. The average halftime score in these games has been 54 to 53. Just to let you know, and the average overall scores in these games, let's go up a little bit because this is a little interesting here. I was wondering about that total. 112 to 115. So that's even lower than what they're thinking on the, or 227, I'm sorry. They're thinking it's even lower than what they've been averaging against each other. So that gives me a little bit of a pause, of course. Pause. Anybody big? Julius Randle is out for the Knicks. He was playing last time. His ankle issue. So one of their main starters for New York that usually plays is gone. And then on the Cleveland side, nobody big. So I'll take Cleveland at home. I'll lay the 3.5, and just that thing's so low, I'm going to go over here. I think New York's going to have to score to keep up with Cleveland. They're going to try to do it.
Just read your own stats?
I did. I just saw the average score on this contest is 227 between these two teams, and it's an over-under 221.
You got to go back a ways to get to that.
So I'm going to go over Rue and Cleveland too. You're going what?
Knicks and under.
Knicks and under. All right.
Yeah.
Hawks and the Nets. They're both in the
Yeah.
playoffs. Hawks barely here. Matter of fact, let me look at the standings. I think they're holding the 8th seed.
Yeah, they're
currently
8.
now.
Nick and the Nets are 6th.
Yeah, both of them with the games left to go. The Nets are a little more comfortable, but those Atlanta Hawks could find themselves out pretty quick, but they're likely in the play-in at least. Man, I don't like this at all, but I will take, well, let's see. My initial thought was go ahead and take the Hawks because it's not that many points, but let me see if there's anything that I need to know about this. Anybody wanting to know on the America thinks?
No?
I do, Paul.
We'll split.
Hello.
Yep.
Is it on here?
They don't want you to know. And like you don't know.
Oh, here it is, Brooklyn. 65% of the money's on the Hawks, and they say it's under. So I'll go with America on here because I like the Hawks to begin with, and I'll go under.
I'm going Brooklyn.
Of course.
And I'm going to go under.
Underoo. All right, both underoo. We both split on the team. Next total. Utah Jazz and the Celtics. Celtics 9.5-point favorites here. At home, 73% of the money says
Boston.
that good. They also say it's going to go over that 229 figure. I You know, if I'm the Celtics and I'm pretty much got this thing wrapped up, I know I'm in the playoffs. I'm 2 games behind Milwaukee, so that's still time to catch them for the 1 seed here. I'm going to go balls out. I'm going to go ahead and take the Celtics to cover the 9.5, and I'm going to go over Rue.
I'm going to keep my pants on, and I'm going to go Jazz. I think Celtics win, but they don't cover, and I'm going under.
Taking Jazz in the points, you're going under.
Yes.
I'm going over and taking the Celtics.
Yes, and Tam, your pants are off for some reason. Yes.
They're still on. Next, Orlando Magic and the Washington Wizards. Not sure this matters. Wizards still technically have a backdoor way into getting into the play-in game.
Oh, wow. There's
Orlando
another Dookie
Magic
emoji.
Is not so much.
Where's a Dookie emoji for this game?
Orlando's 1.5-point favorites on the road against the Wizards. Let's see here. This one will be interesting because it's so close. America says 58% of the money taken Orlando, and they like the over. I kind of like the over because that implies a 112 apiece. I think they can reach that, if not a few points more.
Yeah, but who you picking to win?
I'm going to take Washington. Home.
There
I'm
you
going to
go.
take the home team.
There you go.
Washington and the over-roo.
Yeah, well, guess what?
You're going Washington and?
The Overroo.
You're doing Overroo.
Yes.
All right.
I think that 224 is too low. I think it'll be like
so,
228.
I think so, too. All right, next one. If we got one, Kevo, is that it? No, we got Raptors.
Raptors.
And the 76ers here. Matter of fact, looking at the Raptors, where are they at? They're in the play-in spot right now, currently 9.
Yeah.
So they kind of need to win this game.
Well, they
Philly,
can try.
They can try. You're right. Let me look real quick because I'm expecting more. Are they going to sit anybody? Because that that looks a little low to me. Right now, 65% of the money's taking Toronto plus the 5, and they're saying this game's going to go over. I watched Embiid and Harden and them play against the Mavericks last time. It looked like Embiid was a little sore coming off the court. Like they might try to rest him on here. Injury report news. Come on. For Toronto, Will Barton is doubtful. He's been downgraded. He's a pretty good starter. That's about it. From a Phillies side, they think everybody's going to play. Okay. If that's the case, I'll lay the 5.5. I'll go against America. I'll take the 76ers here. And the over-under in this game, Raptors don't really score as well on the road, so I'm going to go slightly under Rue here. Sixers and under Rue.
I like that, because I agree. I think Sixers win this. I think you can kiss Toronto out. And I'm going to go under because I think it's going to be like 205 to 208.
Okay. That's really low.
It
Barely
is
hitting
low.
100, you're thinking. All right.
Yeah, just like the last time they played in overtime.
Said, kiss Toronto goodbye.
They played in overtime last time and only got 205. Yep, I said kiss and goodbye.
Bye, Toronto.
Bye-bye. Well,
Oh,
bye.
Oklahoma City Thunder, 4.5-point favorites on the road. They need this at the Indiana Pacers.
This is going to be a good one.
Well, it should be. I don't know if Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is going to play. I'm going to look that up real quick.
Doubtful.
He's doubtful?
Yeah.
Is that what you see?
Yeah,
So they're probably going to hold him out because right now they hold the tiebreaker and a 1-game advantage over Dallas, the Mavericks, for the final play-in spot. Oklahoma City, Indiana's been kind of quitting lately. So I'm going to go with that. I think Oklahoma City has some stuff to play for. So here's what I'm going to say. Thunder win, but do not cover. So I'll take the Pacers in the points. And I like the under. I think that's too many points for these two teams.
What's the Pacers playing for?
Pacers are just
to play?
Yeah, they're pretty much out of it. They're just
Yeah.
they haven't been eliminated technically, so there's still a shot for them to sneak in, but they're 3 games back of the Bulls right now with 5 remaining.
All right, I'm going to go Thunder cover, so I'm picking the Thunder.
Ooh.
And I think it's going under because I don't think Pacers even get to the 100 mark.
For those wondering, in America, a lot of 66% of the money's laying the points with Mark's Thunder, and it's going under.
Bingo bongo.
Laying down under. All right, next one on the thing. Should be Chicago, hopefully, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
it
The
is.
Bulls against those pitiful Hornets. Chicago 9.5-point favorites. 80% of America says that's too much, Paul, and they're taking Charlotte here at home.
I say that's a lot.
223.5 is the over-under, and they think it will exceed that. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm going to go ahead and take Charlotte and those points. I know that for sure. Over-under, man, I got to go. I'm going to go under. I know America thinks it goes over, but I think this goes under. So give me Charlotte and the points, and I'm going underoo.
I'm definitely going under, so you can flip that up there. Definitely going under, but just look back at these. Look at that. Look at the scores here in the last 3. Look at that. I got to go Bulls.
Yeah, you got to go Bulls, huh?
They've been beating them by at least 10.
All right.
Yeah. And if you know, look at that shitty game there.
Oof, that was pretty crappy. That's Dookieville. All right, Kevo, is that the last NBA game?
Yes, sir.
What else we got?
That's it.
That's it. Now, real quick, we're going to do this Monday, but I would like to get to everybody's,
All right, let's ask him.
palates just salivating. MLB season kicked off yesterday.
Yeah. How'd your Cubs do?
His Cubs pulled out a good win,
4-0.
and his Cubs pitcher was the first one to kind of get nailed with that pitch clock.
Oh, yeah. How you liking all that?
First thing, yeah, Kevin's really into the baseball scene. Just your initial thoughts, Kevin, on the rules, especially the pitch clock. What did you see, and how you think it's going to pan out?
I think, well, since it's here to stay, I think it's going to be good for the game because, I mean, you think about it, the shot clock came into the NBA. Everybody adjusted to it. You got the play clock in the NFL. Everybody's adjusted to it. I think everybody will eventually adjust to the pitch clock in the MLB.
I gotcha. It'll be interesting to see if they do some special, what I call ninth inning tweaks to it. Like in the ninth inning, the pitch clock gets an extra 10 seconds or, something, because there was a couple of games in spring training. I don't know if anything was affected yesterday for its opening day, but one batter was called for a strike when he stepped out of the batter's box, and it ended the game, I think. And, of course, you saw that thing against the Cubs yesterday against the pitcher where I think it was awarded a base, wasn't it, Kevin? I forget exactly, or maybe it was a ball count. I forget exactly what happened.
Could have been a ball count, making it a walk.
But can you imagine bases loaded, bottom of the ninth of a game that determines whether you win a playoff series, and all of a sudden, block.
Yeah, well, don't be.
I mean,
don't
it can
be
happen.
Tiddlywinks.
You're right. They don't shut it off in the last minute of an NBA game. You're right.
Well, the Cubs won handily, shut them out, and then you got the Yankees who shut out the Giants.
Yeah, but then, the Padres got beat by the Rockies somehow. Astros got beat by Toronto, though Toronto's supposed to be pretty good, so I'm not going to call that amazing.
Astros got beat by the White Sox.
Or White Sox, I'm sorry. Toronto was against the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, and they
darn
beat
it, Cardinals lost.
So what I want to talk about Monday is everybody's winners, who they pick to win each division. In baseball, who's their winners, and then we're going to do some baseball predictions as part of our program going forward. So on Mondays and whenever we do the show,
We can bury that in the archives just like we did the college stuff.
we could, if it don't work out well.
There are no NBA games on Monday.
So that'll even be better. We do some baseball. I'm sure there's some baseball.
There's a big game on Monday.
Yeah, the men's college basketball championship. Yeah, you're right. All right, so that's what we got going on there, Mark.
Awesome.
You got anything on your end?
I do not.
All right. Well,
It looks like that's your bell. It's telling you time to wake
it
up.
is time to wake up. So
Your picks and make you dreamy.
All right, on behalf of everybody, Underoo, Mark, under Moneyline, and Point Spread Shane, the Overoo man. We'll be back with you on Monday, recap everything we had today, get you some baseball and a whole lot more. Until then, be safe, be special, and be a subscriber. Roll that beautiful beat footage.
Thank you for listening to the Odds Brothers Podcast.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Presented by the Betley Sportsbook. Place your sports bets here from inside Southland Casino or from anywhere in Arkansas at southland.betley.com.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, that dang old internet, man, you just go on there and point and click, 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 click. It's real easy, man.
Be sure to follow the Odds Brothers Podcast on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google, and YouTube. Keep in mind, in Arkansas, you must be 21 or older and located in Arkansas to bet. Please play responsibly. For help quitting, call 1-800-522-4700.